What up,
Except for me on
world?
yellow.
What up,
Um,
world? Yeah, I'm gonna keep it right over here. I think I can
uh,
even hear myself from here, bro.
you think so? I mean,
I
look,
said
you
no
see the levels.
glasses. You put your
What
glasses
would be
on.
that? What would be that?
That's all right. I like that. That's good. That's good. I
I
like
guess am
that.
I good too? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yo, 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 yo.
Cause that no, that is me right there. What up, world?
I'd
Love
rather have
Ti,
this
man.
image right here. I take this over here, right there, man.
Love,
Man, we
love.
live
We here
again. We live
live,
again.
live in
What's
effect.
up, man? We here. That's a little too loud, so maybe I'll go like this.
Yo, why none of y'all told us that they already had a couple manuscripts out there? Let's just get straight to the point. Why none of y'all told us, yo?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We had, yeah, word, audience. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I know y'all, it'd be nice if we could just call it the ALBYBEATZ Rob Hegan show.
yeah, the 80th presents.
The
That's
80th,
it. That the
the
80th
80th
presents.
That's it.
Man.
Dot.
Which we've been talking about the music portion, so
So love
definitely
to
we're
y'all,
gonna
man.
get on that and expect to see more music content up on the 80th. All right,
Everything. We're gonna
yeah.
get all our creative outlets.
Man.
That's why it really don't matter what we call it.
Oh,
It'll be the
shout out.
80th.
Ooh,
Oh, I'm
see,
mad
that's.
red.
I think that was me. Yeah.
Oh,
I think that was me. Cause yo. Yeah, I think that was me.
gangster.
We got. Oh, look who got. Oh, look. So see, now it seems
Talk
like
to
it's
me.
coming out good. We got Alicia in the house. Oh my
Alicia, what's up?
God.
Alicia, how we sound, love?
Yeah, cause I'm over here messing around with these sounds.
That's to you.
Trying to make sure. It seems like we're okay this
Let us know
time.
if we sound good, man. We doing the no headphones.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't pull up
Which
the.
I like
I didn't pull up
the
the.
feelings wheel.
That's the one thing I didn't pull up. No, I was gonna say that RBI is on. I believe so.
Hey, yeah, DJ
He
LBI
should be
on that
on. My
TikTok.
brother's
Yeah,
on.
Mixy Mondays.
Yeah, he's mixing on Mondays. But let me see. He's on yet? No, he's actually not on.
If you can't catch him today, you could catch him on Wednesdays.
Oh, he
as
is
well.
on. He is on. There you go.
He should be. Yeah, fine.
There he goes. Nice. All right. So I just want to make sure that I'm on in the background. Oh, she said we sound good.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
So
Thank you, Lay. Taking a little break from studying with us.
Oh no, she is Miss LCSW now. So
Oh, finito.
Yeah, as well. She passed the test, so now new things, big things. I imagine coming soon.
Oh, for sure.
Coming soon.
Love,
because that's like
to
a
you,
great.
Lay.
That's like a good. It's like for social workers, especially in therapists, it's like one level up in the profession where now you have more authority to even start your business, start your own practice. So getting clients on your own, billing on your own. So it comes with like a step up in the career as well. Like there's more things you could do as a therapist. Because
You
even
try
like
to say you're basically her employee.
I could be. I could be her
That's the
employee.
squad,
Actually, I
right?
could be her
Love,
employee.
love.
Depends what's going on. Depends on what
He said,
happens.
hold on, let me
I
show you
said,
my resume.
wait, let me shut you my resume real quick. I mean, listen, I could be.
He's silly. Yeah, that's
But you said
right?
that. That's funny. He said so. You could. That means you could be her employee. I mean, yeah, for real.
That's
It depends on what she
God
wants to
bless
do.
you, sis.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
That's
Let me
what's
see.
up, man.
Yeah. It's definitely. I know what she was telling me.
Fire.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what Cheryl has. So that's what allows her to do her thing. So it's good, man. I know it means a step up now. There's gonna be more things she could do. It could be mean more busy as well.
True.
Because I know she's at anytime. Anytime I know she's gonna be fielding them resumes now. But yeah, no, it definitely could be busier though. Like it could mean you're just a lot busier as a person and see more things.
Nah, we don't got
But
yeah.
That's all right. Leave that for another time.
Online and shit. Can you imagine? We just completely forget. I gotta edit this.
Gotta edit this tonight. He's like, we talking about Alicia for like 20, 30 minutes.
Funny,
Yeah.
Nah, but God bless, man. How you feeling?
Oh man, I am actually. Let me see where we at again. Just curious.
How we all feeling, y'all? Tap in as well.
I don't know. I'm definitely. Today.
Tell us how you feeling, Lay, if you see the wheel.
So today was actually exhausting. For a while. It was just.
That's good.
But in a good way, yeah. It started off interesting, like with at work. Yeah, it was just a long day. I I move a lot, man. I've been moving a lot. That's a good thing though. So I do get, I was gonna say that I felt this a little bit down or disappointed, I guess, because I didn't get down
Down.
because I didn't get to do the my usual. I want to do yoga Mondays, right? It's never too late though, still, because I could do it before bed.
Just stretch a toe while you talking to me right now, man.
I don't know if I could do yoga with my toes, but
Yeah.
um,
Focus.
but man, I'm just walking, taking the stairs. So like on the way here, I'm like, man, I am really like my body just starts to feel it more. Like my lower back, feels it more. So I know you were walking a lot too. So
Yes, sir.
your lower
Yeah, and
back
I
don't
have
feel it. You
lower
don't
back
feel it.
issues.
Yeah, you don't.
Well,
After walking for a while, don't like kind of
you know, I've been dealing with
sore
this
up.
since 17. So what I will
So
share is that the journey has taken me to a place of knowing. You know how people have different walks.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if they like sometimes it's like, oh, that's just the way I walk, but with awareness, bro, and trying to actors do it, they do it to play a role, but now it's not about playing a role, it's just knowing what role you're playing on your body. Oh, my back hurts, let me walk a little bit leading with my knees.
yeah.
So then I'm using but then as you're leading with your knee, what are you how much pressure are you putting on literally your ankle and your Achilles versus using your quad, you know what I'm saying, like.
So
And
you're
then
saying your back don't be hurting? He's like, I can walk for
nah,
miles without my
that's what
back.
I'm trying to say.
Is
Like
that?
sometimes, yeah, it is, but it's
Yeah,
that I have to stretch.
I do think
And
the
I have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
stretch
yeah, yeah,
after all this. Like, you see this walking I'm
yeah.
doing,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
I'm stretching OD.
Okay,
I have to
okay, okay.
stretch. So or else I will fuck my shit up. Like
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But because of the injury, as I was saying, to just learn what's going
Like
on,
being, yeah, yeah. No,
I
I
had
know.
to
I've
learn
heard
how
that's a
to.
thing, man. That's how Curry, like for example, came back from his injury, just learning how to walk differently. Like
Oh
you
shit, I
hear
didn't
of
know
people
that.
having to, yeah, you have to
Fire.
relearn so that certain parts of your body are not as exhausted
Yeah.
through the process. So I would be more conscious of that, because I think I also tend to walk on my what they call my
Yeah, you had that
yeah,
injury, no?
yeah.
On what part of your leg?
My Achilles on the left, yeah. So that's still
Yeesh.
that gets tired first. So that I feel when I'm standing for too long, that I start to feel the most
So
first.
perhaps you still haven't figured out how to use that as less as possible. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just
Like
think it's just still the healing process, man. I mean, my
that
muscle
too.
tore. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that
Like
too.
it's like yeah, that's gonna take a while.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I also could be doing more. I think to stretch it. Really give it like a good like stretching,
Hmm.
flexing, to get it ready throughout the day, so I can handle more standing, more walking.
As we get older, it's kind of hard to reach down here anyway. So even just doing this right here and massaging it, this is all I'm using. I'm engaging my core
Yeah,
crazy.
'cause
I'm
you're
about to.
sitting on a stool, man. So you got the.
But
Yeah, yeah. There's way to
look
move.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Try to reach for your ankle.
Oh no, I could definitely do that. That's
But
yeah. I'm flexible. I'm flexible.
okay. Oh shit!
I just don't. I just got. It's like about doing
Don't tell the
more
world.
and then doing more and then walking, being conscious of my walking. Like you know what I mean. I also probably take my time because I do think I walk fast, and it's like if I'm not in a rush, there's no need to like fight the speed walk.
I hear that.
Take your time with walking.
I hear that. Right, enjoy it. So you
Coño.
can, right. What was that? I feel that remind me of like Hey Arnold, just walking through the whole intro thing. You know what I'm saying, man?
For mad long. Oh my god.
That
Oh my god.
should
That's
have been
man.
wild if he was in these New York streets. Yo, Arnold, get the out the way.
Yeah, he wasn't like a fake New York, no, was he?
Right, but
Yeah.
he was like in the what was it? What was
The
that like
building.
downtown type shit?
Yeah.
These nice Harlem houses.
He got a nice ass room.
Yeah.
That's the best part
He
about
left
it.
there. He wasn't in the Bronx.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling, man? I was like, yo, I
I'm
was like,
sorry,
where you
I
at? Yeah.
left. I left real hard in
I
the
was
kid.
like, where you? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm actually feeling grateful to be
Yeah,
here. So
yeah,
love
nice.
to this whole connection. I connected with your brother earlier. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I'm
cool.
saying? Got some content. So the day started off rough, but it's kind of like it's weird. Like right now, like having the clarity just to know like there's like a looming issue at hand for me that I would like to communicate about, but like letting it go and just knowing that it's not I can't even deal with it now, being able to see the blessing that these moments are. It's not easy,
Hmm.
but again, just stay present, like
Yeah,
and accept what it is, like you know what I mean? Because then it'll take me out this moment right here where I can actually laugh and be
man.
authentic and be present and I'm not bullshitting. Where I
Yeah,
can tell you
man.
like, oh no, there's something I got to address that just happened. I don't know if I'm gonna address it right after this. I don't know if I ever will. You know what I'm saying? That bothers me. But
Man.
you know what I mean? it's weird seeing like the way God is working like that, like having putting me in laugh. You know what I mean?
In
It'd
situation.
be like on
Well,
some
always,
Kanye
you
shit
know,
when
we're
you
tested. We're
laugh.
tested. We're tested every day, man. In
Like, I
some
don't want to
ways,
laugh and shit.
yeah, we're tested every day.
Gangster, yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that's good, man. You're coming in grateful,
But that's
grateful,
not a
grateful,
feeling. I
grateful.
was trying to catch that. That's not an
Uh,
emotion. You know what
it
I'm saying? So, oh
isn't
no,
it
I
an
see I'm
emotion?
bugging.
No, it
I'm
has
so.
to
Am
be.
I happy?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I? Is that the first
Oh,
time I'm
that's
on
the
live
first
clicking
time.
happy?
He was like,
Every
yeah,
time I'm on live, I'm ready to talk about
yeah,
some
like
serious
great,
shit.
great. I mean, listen, that's
Cause I'm
where
about to get sad when we tell y'all the
I'm.
news if y'all ain't paying attention.
Oh man, yeah. Well, so there was. I mean, I
There's
don't
some
like
terrible
listen.
things that happened out here, y'all.
Shit. Yeah, there's some we. So we started today. We were talking about like where to even like what kind of conversation we're coming into Monday, and so I shared with you this news, man, that I found out recently.
One that I heard.
So
Yeah.
we last week we were talking about it's crazy. We were talking about like all the violence we just experienced. You know what I'm saying ourselves and like and then this week I think for me what came up is the violence that then girls and women experience, which is always a conversation, you know, because it's still an issue. You know, domestic violence is an issue. Uh, Gender-based violence is an issue. Femicide is an issue. Um, in this world.
Violence,
So, and
violence,
then violence. So, you
violence.
know, and so what came up this week is just the violence that then that's been happening against women for me. I heard, you know, there was the
Olympian, R.I.P.
yeah,
Love to you. I forgot her name. Rebecca.
yeah.
Rebecca, man.
So she was an Olympian, a French. No, sorry, definitely I'm getting that wrong. I'm getting that one jacked up.
Nah, I'm not sure
Um,
where she was, but God bless her, bro. She was a
so
spirit
let me
leader and
see.
deserved
This
that kind of ending. That's what
yeah.
I
So
was like. She's
let me
someone
go
who accomplished.
looking real quick because I want to get this right. So I
Yeah,
was bugging
yeah.
out,
Well,
but
Rebecca
yeah.
Shepeteje. That's why I was just gonna say her name respectfully is Rebecca. Um, she was, if y'all don't know, she was set on fire by her, I guess at the time, husband, her partner, over what is allegedly a stake of claim on land. And she was alive, you know, fighting through for like 3 4 days, and she just recently succumbed to her injuries. She was a Kenyan runner.
Rebecca Sheptegi. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sheptegi. Yeah. So
yeah,
she
we from the
was.
Bronx.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't really say these kind of.
So it's
Man, I'm
Kenyan.
that
She's
guy with the
Kenyan.
memes where
Yeah.
you
So
read the Bible and you're like,
this
blah blah blah.
is
You
that
can't
was
say
one.
these names.
Yeah. So that one was one of them, right? And look at this. Let me see. I gotta get my glasses. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
man.
too close to the monitor. Um, Look at this, and that was the first one.
The
So
the
I
pack.
don't know, like that. So the thing is also saying like in these news is that right here, this is from CNN. In the past 3 years, two other female Olympians have been killed. About 70 miles. So that means before Rebecca, two other Olympian women from Kenya were killed, and killed
Oh,
specifically by their significant others.
wow. Go on, man.
So it's like, you know, you hear about these stories. I mean, this is just so that came first, right? And then there's this one, Rob, which I think I don't know if I mentioned to you this. This was like is it was let me see.
Paris.
Was it
That.
not? Oh, not that one. No, no. Before we get to that one, that one's the one that took the freaking like
Yeah, that's wild.
the
This okay.
so this one right here. So it was in India, right?
Oh yeah,
So in
that one
India,
bugged me out
on
too.
August 9th, the body of a 31-year-old doctor trainee was found at the RG Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata. She had been, you know, sexually assaulted, raped, and murdered. The case was once again, it was brought to the forefront, right? So what happened was, let me see, it was
You said she performed a
she was
basically to generalize it. She performed a
she
procedure no
was
one was happy about, and they took it upon
yeah
their
no
own
no no wait.
hands.
So it says she was found with extensive injuries, where she was resting at the end of a 36-hour shift. What the a 36 hour? What's a 36-hour shift? What does that even look like?
Well, some doctors sometimes they ain't sleeping.
Yep. That's OD, Rob. 36 hours.
I mean, they might be over exaggerating onto the fact
What?
that maybe
That is
maybe they
crazy.
have like
Like
3 to 4 hours to like
rest. Like
saying.
oh, I guess so in the totality, totality.
It's
But
like
damn,
yeah, she pulled a 3-dayer to save a life, but like of course you
shit, nah.
probably have an hour or two because you don't want to put. I would imagine I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying that's a lot of stress on the body to go 36 hours straight, like on the dead
Well,
body and the live body. Shit,
so now they're actually. I'm a
that's
little
just an
confused
assumption.
because there's no. They're not saying what was the reason. So let me actually go back.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because um, yeah, there's no details. There's not even a name actually. So I feel
Maybe they don't want to have the details out no more.
it says
They be doing weird shit like that. Look, they're not even telling you this person's name no more.
it just
It's
says
just a
it keeps saying the
31-year-old
31-year-old. Yeah,
from Kolkata.
yeah.
Go on Reddit. That's where the real they trickle into.
Going on Reddit. Oh man, I'm kind of like I know I want to. It's time to move forward, but man, I just want to at least get like
Nah, respect to the dead,
a
bro. Ain't no
name,
time to
but
move forward. This is our show. This is our
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Ain't no way. Shoot.
Because I mean, all the articles that I'm pulling up
Okay, let me pull up.
are just showing. I mean, it's
Acting
just
like I
showing.
don't got my shit right here.
It's
Hold
just
up.
showing. It's just showing. Like at least what I'm finding here, is just the Oh no, bro. Hold on. They just did it out of nowhere. She didn't do nothing wrong. It just says she had gone to the lecture hall to rest during a night shift when she was attacked.
This could be a passion crime of like the not to say that she had any not romantically for her but of like maybe if she's a doctor some I can imagine a story of like she couldn't save someone's life and they what I mean.
Nah, bro. Active passions don't exist, man. That's a myth.
That's a myth.
That's
I've
Hollywood.
heard I've heard laws say that shit. They try to deem it like a passion crime. You know what I'm saying? Like
I heard that from true crime movies, but that's
type shit.
like
That's exactly
yeah,
where I
yeah.
got
But
from.
that's
I'm
what I
not
was gonna say.
justifying it at all.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
It's
That's
wrong.
a Hollywood state
Yeah, that's for
term.
sure
But
where I
that
heard it.
listen, that's love shouldn't make you kill somebody, and passion shouldn't.
No,
You
no,
know,
no.
passion should drive you to do amazing things. I don't think passion driving you to kill somebody. That's I don't.
Preach.
That's a
That's not passion.
a male hospital volunteer worker has been arrested. Okay,
Passion fruit.
so India has a problem. Kenya has a problem.
Yeah,
I mean, in
to
America,
say the
we
least.
in America we have a problem too because I think there's still been strings of cases of DV happening here. We're not too far off.
Right.
I think there was one. I actually was trying to save that one, but there was a family. There was a family in Texas. There was a family in Texas. I'm gonna go to this one now because I think I saved it. Hopefully,
One thing I just want to say real quick while we're all this searching is like already in the energy and the vibe for me and myself, and I'm just a male out here. Like I have that privilege.
hmm
Like I don't like what this could just the looming energy it already has in the conversation. Like I want to talk to the men. Like just really think about that. Like if we were talking about like there's like been a lot of hits on 30 middle aged like Hispanic like dark skinned men like you'd be feeling different like or whatever your type is listening right now that's not tapped into like the fact that like this is crazy like just to have these multiple news like outlets just communicating to us that women are being violated, women are being disrespected, women are being like slaughtered, bro, murdered, like at the hands of men, like just even in the hands of anybody, like the constant conversation, like of like and established people too, like you don't gotta even. It's just there's no protection. You feel me? Like what would I feel like with all the privileges I take of like walking out here in these streets, bro? Like if I was a woman, you know what I mean? I have to understand like they that shit is bad for your mind, bro. You have to
it's not
like
good.
look around the corner
Look,
every fucking second, like every now you can't let 5 minutes go. 5 minutes is too much to not look behind your back to see if somebody's been following you for 5 minutes. Like that's crazy. Like I
yeah,
definitely take my
man.
5 minutes. You crazy? I love to listen to my music and go. And I remind myself that I'm good because if somebody touches me, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like I prepare
Yeah,
myself even because we get tried too. But the thing is differently still.
Yeah,
I
no,
could
no,
protect
that's
myself differently. Like that's what
well,
I'm trying to say. Like I just
yeah.
want to say, like, man, think about that, bro. Next time y'all even whatever you justify with your anger or anything, like the the best thing my father ever told me was just never put your hands on a woman. Never ever
I
do that. And I
mean,
held that shit down.
yeah.
Like
Well, that's a part I
that shit
think
is tough.
that's a part where I think we have to elevate though too, Rob. You know, because I
Oh,
think
that's
it's
not
like
just it. Yeah.
I think what comes to me is just that we're so is we're like look, because men like women do experience violence at the hands of men, but like us as men also mostly experience violence at the
At the
hands
hands
of
of men.
men, you
Yeah.
know, and so it's just it is terrible where we're headed. I think the fact that because I think we grew up in a society and in a culture that still told us to be like desensitized in a way, like you know what I'm saying, like
Oh,
to
for
lack
sure.
empathy.
For sure.
But I, as now, I think there's still room, and it's are still examples of men that show other men that you should have empathy for people, you should care for your people. And if you, even if we think about like major historical figures like Martin Luther King, right? He's someone that when you think about him and his legacy is you think of warmth and you think of somebody that's inviting you, a community, and as a man teaching you how to like nah, you gotta care. It's good to care for your brothers and your sisters, right? But then, man, I don't know what's going on with men, with this other side of the nasty side that still is poisoning other men to do this stuff, man. Like, cause bro, even I'm tired of hearing stories of young men. Even now, we talked about back to school last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, in the last week already, it's only been the first week of school, and I'm already hearing stories. I mean, you just look at the news of all the
Mm-hmm.
violence that's already happening, and then I'm hearing stories of like people and young men who are dealing with other young men just chasing them, like just because they're wearing a certain hoodie or because they like look a certain way. We just talked about the kid getting jumped randomly, and I think that stuff is already coming up, and it's only the first week of school, man. So it's like dogs. We got young men out here wilding, man, and there's something in the water that's making us as men really become violent for a certain time. Because if many of us even get to live that long, we let it go because most even like we don't play as like rough as we did as when we were kids, right? And even the men
Oh,
around
because
us.
you don't want it though. Imagine you
you,
stretch,
you stretch, yeah,
but imagine I
yeah.
walk.
But
Nah, imagine.
that's a good one. That's a hey, hey, you
That's it.
stretch.
No. That's the shit between
Because
men. Nah,
that's
challenge you.
touchy. Yeah, yeah. Always
Yo.
challenge me. You
We're
stretch.
going on a
I
commercial break
don't-
real quick. It's like, oh
Yo,
damn, niggas
it's
can't do that.
man. It's crazy, Rob, because now it is, and we know that the pandemic did something else to people's empathy and just in general how people feel about society and being
Yeah,
outside. So it definitely is not good
there's a
hearing these
heavy
stories,
disconnect.
man.
But it is.
And so it makes me, yeah, it's bleak out here.
There's a threshold to cross it, and that's what I wanted to say as a youthful
Yeah,
mind. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? They're
So
not
it's
the
like,
youth. They're like 23, 24, and we want to say that they're old enough, but there is a threshold to cross where, like, you know what I'm saying, you can just understand what there is at stake. And you're right, like that 4 or 5 years really affected a specific generation that actually came into adulthood, and so they have a lot of rights, but you know what I'm saying, but like no real one-on-one experience. You feel me? And the experience that you think you had, you were stuck in trauma. I take it from me. I
so imagine
bounced
that.
quick, and then I was there for a few years, and I could
Yeah.
see like, wow, like man,
Just
I haven't
that
seen
they
my
were
family
robbed,
this
man.
connected. Like
Yeah.
I haven't seen my family for this long, like in a consistent way. Like oh shit, damn. I see why. I guess I always got my grades up and booked it out the crib. But some people don't like now. Like I think that whole era, like that whole 4 years, like just robbed a lot of people of that, and that's like now we gotta do like maybe 4 years, 2008. Like we're gonna be talking a different story. Hopefully, 2028 we'll be talking a different story. Counteract this shit for 4 years and have these
Well,
conversations. Hopefully, please.
listen. Well, that's what I think is like something has to be done on my part, our part. I think definitely the men who get it, the men who can do something about it, we gotta have we like that's it's like we gotta be able to challenge the stuff that we see, and again, just challenge that we do like consume shit that gives us permission to act like this. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, like the young men today, for example, the stuff that they're likely consuming gives them permission, if you will, to act in violence, to be violent to each other, first and foremost, right? Because again, most of the times we're taught don't hit girls, but they never tell you don't hit kids, don't hit men. So you go around hitting, you know, so you, or you be violent on the weaker men, right? And so we got a way to go because there's we consume those, you know what I'm saying? Like the from the movies we watched, the video games we played, and then we didn't have adults who would really sit us down and talk to us about until we got to high school, thankfully. But you know, and so now you got another, and that's what every generation, you know what I'm saying? Like our generation clearly wasn't the only one to experience this process, right? Like our dads likely were raised in a very tough environment that taught them to be certain men, which likely were meant to fall in line, you know. Uh, and it sucks, Rob, because it's really bad out there, man. And so it's like, to me, I'm already seeing how, like, how do I work with even men or young men around me, bro? But it's like it's really addressing the shit we consume, bro, because we really excuse a lot of shit. Uh, you know, the music we consume. I mean, it took people a long time to get rid of R. Kelly. It took a long time for people to get rid of Diddy, when it's like stories about him was already told if you were paying attention. It took people a long time to get rid of a lot of men in the high profile spaces, and like celebrities who like really did nasty things to people. I mean, Dr. Dre was famously known for beating the shit out of a journalist, a woman. Like, and that was like, that's factual. You could look it up. Everyone says it. Everyone was there. Even members of and the whatever crew he was with said she deserved it at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, men have been extremely violent to other people, and especially to women. And other men have excused that shit for a while, bro. You know? And that's still, it's like, I struggle with it because there's times that I'm not perfect still. And there's still stuff that I'm learning about myself that I'm like, dog, probably shouldn't be consuming that, because that you don't agree with that. That's not like, you know what I'm saying? That art you're consuming, that music, that shit you're paying is like, that's really not you. So you're giving money and life to something that don't really represent what you would do. So it's like, I do struggle more and more to like strike that balance, man, between like, what am I really consuming here? And like, I'm not trying to be that type of man, bro. I don't like that. I don't like these messages that reinforce that, like, you know. So like, I'm cool with drill music, but like, damn, I'm really not cool with you like so casually talking about killing other men, you know, and like really
Yeah, it don't
boasting
got.
about it, and
Yeah,
like, cause
it
that's
don't gotta be about the.
just,
I never get tripped off the content because,
it's
like, what I've learned, like,
just,
I know, like, yo, harm, like, you're not safe. Even if you're the abuser, you're not safe from, like, once you inflict harm, that shit, my belief, it's a trickle effect. Like, you don't know literally the damage you're doing. That's why, like, don't, like, call out your abusers, y'all, because it's like,
bro,
so,
it's
it
not
goes,
safe though,
I
you
know, but
know,
it
it's not
goes,
safe all
they
the
want,
time, you
this is a
know.
perfect thing
And
to tap
again,
into the
like,
next one, the next
cause
news.
yeah,
This is perfect segue because that
um,
what that woman did, God bless her, is not safe. But
yeah,
she wanted to go public with it.
man.
If y'all know about the news, about is in Paris out?
Yeah, because I think it's international. This is not really. I'm surprised. I would be, well, people should know about this because again,
This
I
is
think it was also,
wild.
it's a
About
French
the
woman. It
man, a
was a French
French
woman.
woman was
Yeah,
drugged by her husband for
yeah.
what? 30 plus
This
years?
story,
No, 10 plus.
this story, yo, this BBC article starts with, this story contains distressing details from the start.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as you read it,
That
you're
was
gonna
bad.
be
It's bad.
like,
But my only thing to segue into this
oh
is to say
my
like
goodness.
this shit is sticky, man. You like
Ah,
yeah, it's sticky. But it goes far. That's why I'm saying like you gotta really like
I don't
don't
even know.
think
I
that
don't
you're
even know.
free from any of this. Like this
All right.
like we are a traumatized people. Like this shit is connected to all of us. Like nobody's
Okay.
free from this. So we gotta heal from this. I would say like I know you say it's not safe, but you gotta
Nah, it's not.
free
I mean,
yourself
look,
from it and
the
talk about
the
it.
numbers for, you know, from what I like,
10
from what I
years,
understand,
10
the
years.
numbers, yeah, bro, this is insane.
So there was a
Um,
woman. She was drugged
yeah,
for 10 years by
so
her husband.
yeah, so this is, I mean, you could
Over
just
80
trigger warning
people.
for real, because this is like,
Yeah.
for any, like, yeah, anybody listening or who's gonna play back and listen to this at any point, like, just want to make sure that from this point on, like, if you haven't heard about the story out of France, dealing with a French couple, married couple, then
Trigger warning.
this is a,
French
yeah,
couple.
this is
They
gonna
gotta
be,
look to that
yeah,
though.
you might
Yeah.
not, if you don't want to hear about sexual assault, and you don't really want to hear about rape, like this is probably the time you might want to skip a little
Don't go
forward.
reading the details now. I'll try and give them just a little blank cover.
No,
Like,
but
yeah,
still, it's like I think whatever you're gonna say, it
that's
really goes
crazy.
back to that,
No,
and
yeah, love.
so yeah, just take caution.
No love. From what I just see here too. I mean, I know about this story a little bit. I just didn't know. I just didn't see that. I got the
Well,
nice
how
part.
did you got it? How did you get it? That's a good segue. How did you read about this news?
Um,
Well, sorry, say what the news is. I did cut you off. Say
no,
what the
no,
news
no,
is.
love. But I
Yeah.
can't even remember honestly.
Okay.
I think it was just going through like YouTube, like
Okay.
looking at news stuff like that. But the story is, yeah, thank you. Like Giselle Pellicott.
Mm.
I didn't know. 72 years old, man. Wow, man. She had been raped, drugged for over 10 years by her husband. In different ways. But I think actually it was mixed with anxiety medication mixed with sleeping pills, and he would mix it in different ways in her wine and her food, and she'll knock out. And he invited over 80 people. They have convicted 50. They can't tell 30 of the people. Over 80 people to rape her. And apparently the news was like that if she even moved about her arm, get off and leave, there was like it was sad because I started reading a little bit more into it. I didn't know that she had suspicions, like she was just tripping, like some one day wake up with a different haircut, and a lot of her children believe she had Alzheimer's. Friends and family believed it was like her husband had always been there in her appointment, saying that he thinks that she's taking care of her grandchildren too much. She's overworking herself. She's stressed. All of this gaslighting. Um, just to find out, bro. I forget how they found out, but they end up finding out that her husband is actually pretty worse than what you even can imagine. What he was doing to her. I believe he murdered a 23-year-old woman, raped her, and stabbed her in the chest. They found that his blood DNA matches another type of a 19-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Um, so his actions go deep. And the
Yeah,
rape
this
culture,
is
bro. We're getting
crazy.
into like
This is
this
just
idea of rape culture, which Erica, our mentor Erica Miller has been saying it for a while. I'm saying that this is what we need to tackle. That this has been being fed. This is the wolf being fed. Like, um,
yeah, his story's crazy.
just to end it on a little positive note, no, for real, there is a little silver lining in it all, which I was trying to get at because you were saying like it's not safe.
Oh,
But
this
this
is
woman,
crazy.
y'all, the choice that she made, God bless her, man, because she chose. They were asking her, and even I think that they wanted to push that it would be a quiet, not public case. She pushed to make it public, saying that the people like being in the shadows, it not being public is exactly what she feels the abusers would want. I think it puts a lot of pressure, not on just
Yeah.
her though. You know what I mean? Like if it would have been quiet, it was interesting to put it that way. I didn't think about that. You're asking her to be quietly in a room with all her accusers again. It's like no, of course. Like to look at it that way, that's how I would feel
Well,
free and safe is understandable and commendable, man. It's not gonna be easy, of course, but none of this. Who
well,
said this was supposed to be easy?
yeah. Well, that's the thing, Rob. I will say this.
No, it's wild.
I mean, it's clear here, man. This is it's 51 men, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not people who came to rape her. This is
She's
men.
72. Her husband's 71.
And the men range from 20 something to 70 something. So this is young men to 70-year-old men doing this to this woman. And so the way they got to find out they could even do this is because this motherfucker of her
I
husband
just saw how he got caught. You want to read it?
put
I
her
forgot.
on on this website, and that's how he was soliciting men to come and freaking rape his wife. And then they also this motherfucker said they didn't even have to put condoms on. Like, I'm flabbergasted beyond belief. And then here's where it gets sicker for me. Right here it says many defendants, all 51 of them, are defending themselves because they contest the rape charges, claiming that they thought they were taking part in a consensual sex game. And something tells me they actually might have a chance to win, which is just like this is just I don't even have any words right now.
There's no winning in that. Their freedom is gonna, you know, to my belief, you know what I'm saying. You act on certain
I don't
things
even.
like that.
This is crazy.
You can only be free to a certain extent, and you're just not trying to see the walls, but the shit that's gonna torment you. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just trying to get by, you know what I'm saying, traumas of like, you know what I'm saying, like believing in karma. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and live my life to believe that you're gonna be good just because you're gonna get past this. I ain't gonna, nah, bro. God's watching you. And it's not on me.
But
So
then
you're gonna get yours. It's
I
not
mean,
on
but
me.
that's my thing though, Rob. I feel like
God in this
like there's a
system,
part of me is like
God.
I want to go Batman, you know what I'm saying, and find these motherfuckers and just kill them myself, you know. Like I feel like you honestly, my thoughts on this is that there's no place for people like you. You're lost. Like I can't save you at all. Like it's either we take you out. I'm not waiting for no God to take you out because God allowed this to happen. So it's up to me to take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how this story had me feeling earlier. Like we gotta Batman this motherfucker and like find these people and like y'all just gotta go because I don't like. There was a 25-year-old involved in here. So what is going on in the mind of a 25-year-old man that told him this whole ordeal was okay? Like, how did he?
I get no pussy.
But how did he think to go on this? No, I mean, is that really it though? Is it that simple?
Playing stupid, like,
You know what I'm saying? Is it that simple? But like, they went to look for this,
Or it's a lie.
and they found it.
Or they lying.
You know,
No.
and they did it. And like, there's a whole process to it. They had to drive to a certain distance. He had instructions for them. Like, so a 25-year-old man through a 70-year-old man, like they did it. And I would never do this shit. Like I'm a man right now. I'm proud to be one. I'll say it with my chest. And I would never do that. Like to me, we talked about the word evil before. Like that's evil. Like this is like I don't
agree.
like honestly like I put a cross in front of them, it'll burn. You know what I'm saying? Like how because they went through
Mr. Religious now.
like this all went through. I'm saying if we're using metaphors, you know, because this like if they went this far to like go through all this, bro. Like I have to go through a lot just to get through my day. And they went, and this is how they chose to spend their time.
And again, that's an action they took. Word, that's beast. No,
and then it was sparked by one guy, like the husband. I'm just, because like you said,
just for the public to tell you, he got caught.
Oh my god, that's just even like
And then when they went through all his shit, they found a file that was labeled what?
I don't even know what it was labeled. And then he has 4,000 photos and videos on it.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
It was an abuse.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, you know, you said something quite interesting that
man.
I want to tap into that, but it might take things differently, bro. Like, and I don't know where the conversation would lead. Like, I don't know where to take it to. But you said God allowed this to happen. And I was stumped on. I kept hearing that ringing through me, like.
Well, if we're gonna say God is gonna take care of them, then if God is gonna take care of them, then that means God allowed this to happen too. Because why didn't God take care of them before they got on the fucking website? like, like they did so much just to get through that act of rape. You know, they really went through hoops just to do that. And that is just like
the only answer for that I would have is I don't really know how much they're losing. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
here's another answer I have.
Like,
that's another entity. God is like, yo, that's why I put you niggas in Earth for. That's your job to protect Earth. I got other shit to deal with too. Like, you know, there's people that infiltrated.
I'm not over there.
Yeah.
So, you clearly see what's going on.
Yeah. No, I was taking care of the sun. I was taking care of the sun and doing my job over there. Like the sun needed some love. I came back. I come back and y'all look at y'all be talking to
me in that. I'm not in that. You really think I'm in that?
Yeah.
I'm not God. There's no God in
that. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think do you want me to really deal with it? Then he'll come back like, I'll give you like,
You
I'll
know how
give you,
that Jeffrey Dahmer
yeah.
at the end, he's over here. Now Jeffrey, you heard?
You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
y'all seen the movie.
They, you know,
Crazy.
we stressing God out. You know what I'm saying? Not figuring it out for him. He's like, yo, what are y'all doing down there? What are y'all doing? But that's my point. Like we don't like, obviously I was like the anger in me was like really like going Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys need to be X out of the world. Like then there's a part of me obviously I'm not in France,
What
so
kind of
like
Batman would you be? Which one?
the one based on the Dark Knight on the game, the video game. No, he's cool as shit.
But it's like Batman Begins.
I mean it's called the Dark Knight.
Because the
So
Dark Knight came after Batman Begins, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, but he's based on his own.
Oh, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the Joker's back and all that. Like,
oh, gang, gang, gang.
nah.
I feel you on that, bro. On that anger
But it's
shit.
just
I
like
feel
because
you.
it's like these because it's just what type of person do you have to be like that don't represent me. You know what
How
I'm
do
saying?
you stop it, bro? You
So.
don't.
Well,
That's what gets
obviously,
me into the anger that I'm saying, oh, I would do that.
unless you go to, obviously, unless we go that. But I think that's what brings me back to like the
They're gonna
social.
flag us real quick when we get
They
our
said they're gonna
iPhones.
do what?
Like, yeah,
Listen,
we actually
I was
will
just
get
in France.
flagged.
I'm pissed that I went to France. I want to get my money back. Like I'm like, yo, you fucking
Well, look at
no.
how God worked that you didn't get this information then for that. You know,
Well,
it would have been a
I would
terrible
have
for
been
you. It would have
pissed.
said,
I would
I'm
have
not
been
going to
walking
France.
around Paris
I'm
pissed.
not going over there.
Yeah, yeah. I probably would have stayed in. Like, nope, arms crossed. Nah, but it's not France' fault. Listen,
But that's what I
rape
don't
culture
want.
exists globally. So it's
No,
like
but look,
that was
that's what
we started
you
with
know.
stories of like other women in like in Kenya, in
Right,
India. So
right.
it's a global problem for sure. But that's what I'm saying. It's sad. It's sad, man. It's like it's angry, sad because it's again like it's just men being violent to men. Because we're right now men are killing each other like there's shootouts galore. You know what I'm saying? Fights all the time. Like men are also being killed, unfortunately, at high rates too. So I know there's that conversation to be had. Um, and I mean I'm pretty sure I could pull up an equally egregious or whatever if you want to like play that kind of game like of a man experience that type of violence.
You know
Or
what's crazy?
it's like
I've been recently hearing
it's,
people not only saying that they'll rape you and your mother, and I'm like, that's y'all wilding right now. Like,
no,
people
it's
get
just so
so
loose, Rob.
disrespectful trying to say that
I
they'll
think
fuck
but
you
you
and
know
your
what?
mother, and I'm like,
That's why social media is important,
hey,
man. Like I
bro,
think
like,
my goal is to talk to young people this time about like really vetting their social media, like because the stuff that's on there
for sure,
really is they'll laugh at this stuff, bro. Like
of course.
you put this on social media, and I'm sure there'll be several trolls just to
It's
try to
too
be
deep. It's too
funny.
deep. But it's because it's too
And
deep.
it's like you can't even
They don't
like
pay
yo
no
dogs don't
attention.
even like we talking about like bro this is like
That's why I tell you, there's
this
a threshold.
this is I don't what's the word below evil like that's that like we and that stuff cannot exist cannot walk among us, man. That's bad for earth, that's bad for our environment. We can't breathe the I don't want to breathe the air next to them like so. But obviously I'm sure there's people in this world who will be fascinated in working with these men because I'm sure there's a psychiatrist out there who want to like get into that inside the brain of that 30-year-old man who was involved in that. What was going on in your life? What career did you have? Let's you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'll leave it up to them.
Yeah, keep them in your
Yeah.
facility. The fuck you mean?
Like I can't work with that. Like don't that I can't work with that.
No, it's clearly not safe.
That's beyond my comprehension of how they could go that far from the husband to him being just who he is. It's like god damn, man, dude.
Listen,
Sorry, but
I'm all about grace, but I will say
it's
there are there are thresholds, bro. I've also learned boundaries, and it's like it's so obvious, and then also cycles. You know the words, bro. I've been talking to you forever. You see the
yeah,
words balance, cycles, duality, everything. So all of these
yeah.
putting these all together, like also boundaries and thresholds. It's like nah, you crossed the line. It doesn't have to do with anybody, even if you're the abuser. You crossed the line, bro. Yes, I love you, but am I gonna hold your hand and help you through this? No.
No, yeah.
No. You best go and believe on God. Change your ways and believe on God that you will be helped. But if you think
Well,
somebody's gonna help you in the same vicinity that you caused abuse, sorry, not sorry. Like that's it. But I'm not. But the thing I don't know about like the eye
no.
for an eye. Like that's the because that's the struggle. That's where my anger comes in play. Because it's like I hear you now. Damn, like if there's sick individuals who cause pain to people and enjoy this, like I don't know. I wonder. This is just happening right now. I wonder if then the objective to not cause pain to them and keep them in like padded walls is a torture because you feel me? Because you're
I
not
don't know,
abusing
man.
them,
Listen,
you're
I
not
don't know.
torturing them, you're secluding them.
I
You
don't
feel me?
know.
So hopefully gets a reflection. You know what I mean? Like, but you have to really do that. And then who knows what people do when they're bored, when they work at these facilities and they just want to get
Well,
entertained by the cycle. You feel me? Like, that's not, you feel me? Like, you really have to be diligent. And everybody around, like, come on, like, in this last case, 80 people, 80 men of y'all, 80 of y'all was
80.
fucking a woman who's just laying there.
No
Like,
raping, not fucking
my
raping,
fucking God.
raping,
No,
because that
yes,
would
excuse me.
imply it was consensual. It was
Nah,
not
y'all were
consensual.
raping 80?
Yeah,
That's
man.
wild, bro. That's wild. Like,
And she was in
that's
her
crazy.
and she was in her
The
60s.
nerve of any man out here to walk to, that's what I'm saying. It's clear to me. Like, bro, like, I'm not hearing this kind of stories about happening to me. So it's like, as a man, the least I could do is take the life of a woman more seriously. Like, yo, nah, bro, they go through a lot, my nigga. Like, no, I went through some shit, yeah, but we're not talking about me. Let's talk. Let's look at that. I didn't
Well,
get that treatment. I don't see no
yeah.
many like that. Like, and then we all come from a woman as a man.
Well, that's
you didn't
where,
come from a man,
yeah.
so you came from a woman. So just think, that woman that you came from was a child. She was
Mm.
a child before. Imagine, like, even if your mother didn't get it, but would she tell you? Do you think these women are able to talk about it the way you don't even want to talk about it? Like, really think about how you're there for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this love to this whole thing. Like, to me, the conversation has to happen.
Well,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
for
But
sure.
that shit is
That
uncomfortable. If men, y'all
but-
not emotionally intelligent and ready to really be there for them, why
well,
would women say anything?
well, that's why I think it is hard. Not only that, Rob, is that it's also talk. It's also hard for us to talk to each other about the violence that we experience with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if you even take our stories from last week, you know, like you it would take you a long time to be able to have me agree to sit down with the young man, like, you know what I'm saying, who was trying to jump me basically, and they didn't even actually jump me. They just tried to, but I don't see myself for a long time get to a place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're talking to me when it happened to me, like from like I probably would have to be late 20s to be like, yeah, I'll talk to them, like, because it's whatever at this point. But you know what I'm saying? It would have taken a while for me to like really fake, because his anger is like, you know,
Yeah.
is stuff that we hold on to, the violence that we've seen, that when we put a face to it, we don't think of somebody with long hair looks feminine, right? We think of somebody that looks like us. You know, the people that have threatened us the most. Well, speaking for myself, but honestly, when I talk to most men, it's the truth. Like, you know, I remember like in a couple years ago having a conversation with a group of young men, and like as young as 14, they'll talk like, yo, sometimes you just got to get it on with your friends. You know what I'm saying? If you're disagreeing, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You get your boy, your third party boy, and we just get it on. Like a little quick 30 seconds. And I'm like, that's a thing, bro. And that's been a thing.
Well, we respectfully put gloves on when we was at trips. We put gloves on and just shit like that, but it wasn't because we was angry.
No,
It
no,
was just
no.
because we was, you know,
and there's some,
wanted to
and
challenge
in
each other.
some, and in
But see, that's the
some,
funny thing, we weren't
and
angry.
in some male circles, men's circles, that's a
Do
thing.
get out when they get angry.
Yeah, yeah. And
put
I
gloves
do, and
on.
then I
You know
do
what I'm saying?
think,
Like,
and that's just a thing, bro. But
put
why?
the gloves on.
Why?
Like even Iron Man. Even
But again,
Captain America
that's my
said,
whole
"Put on the
point,
suit."
Rob. Like, why? Why do we have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
I hear you,
cool.
I hear you.
Cause then again, when that violence is really violence, when it's like, oh my God. But say, we could have stopped it from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
From the
poison,
get-go, yeah, get
poison is really poison when it kills you, right? And then you, oh my God, but you was drinking poison already, bro.
Right.
And why didn't we stop you when it was already you starting? No, we wait till you die, and then like, oh my God, now we want to make a big deal. Oh my God, this rape is so sad, but we don't say nothing when we listen to music that promotes rape culture.
Ross talking about sipping something in your drink. Y'all didn't want to hone in on that.
That's what I'm saying. And that was already in 2012 that he dropped that song and made that bar. You know what I'm saying? So even 10 years ago, 12 years ago, this was a problem, and people were having a hard time still holding people to that line. And not just people to people. I keep saying people, but me being speaking honest, it's men to men. Because I've been there trying to challenge, and I see how exhausting it is to challenge my own peers on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's exhausting. You know, it's very exhausting. And it's like, it's either you drop everybody, or you just become you, or like you just did live. And then so honestly, for real, for me, it's a constant struggle, because every year is like I feel like I have to be a different person. And then you know how many times I drop battles with people, like, bro, this situation.
What you mean by that? Every year
like,
you gotta be a different person. Oh, you're talking about because I work.
And no, I'm talking about personally. It's like, so what I mean is like, there's a lot, like, for example, like when it comes to like me trying to challenge other men to think higher and to think differently and just have another perspective, especially when it comes to like me just asking them to think differently about the stuff that they're consuming, which promotes rape culture and violence. I get so much pushback. And I've been getting pushback since I learned that it's a problem. And then all I'm just trying to do is let y'all know it's a problem for us.
The pushback. My question is the pushback
So,
is that they're not doing it.
and then it's no, it just
I'm gonna
starts. So then it starts with like, for example, my earliest memory was like having an argument with one of our friends. Um, he had called me randomly over the Chris Brown situation. Remember when Chris Brown abused Rihanna and the story came out? So it's like a year after.
Well, deep, yeah.
And they called me, this friend of ours, I'll tell you who it was afterwards. They called me, and I remember, bro, I'm like, they called me to just basically be like, yo, so you heard the news that, like, Rihanna and Chris Brown made up? So you see what I'm saying? That bitch is lying, yo. So you see what I'm saying? So what you gotta say now? Oh, wasn't Chris Brown an abuser, though? You was talking about Chris Brown an abuser. So what you so what you got to say? Like, and I remember that, bro. And we sat. I sat.
Doesn't mean I hope that was your answer. That he still abused.
Oh, dude, I was on the phone with this person for like.
She forgave him.
Bro, I was on the phone with this person for like an hour.
Doesn't mean he didn't
For like, and that was a random call. They randomly called me just to tell me that, and then I swear we stood on the phone for like an hour. And I was in the middle of being on a trip with Erica, and I went with Erica on a trip. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean by like. Think that's exhausting.
My man was getting paid from Chris Brown, right?
That's exhausting, and so now that's when I'm 20 years old. So then I gotta remember, like, so now imagine, bro, I could do that every day with almost a lot of the men around me for a lot of the shit that they consume, and I just don't say nothing. It's exhausting though, and it's been exhausting. And I think that's why I've been a lot looser with the way I've been. And if I'm seem serious enough now, bro, I'd be very serious. I'd be statue. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff, like I don't think a lot of the men around me would be able to handle that conversation. So I appreciate that you're willing to consume this. Because I don't think most men could sit here for as long as you have, in my experience, to even talk about this. Because I have, and I've been prepped for this. But I know the men around me, I know the men around me cannot do that at all. So it does feel like an island because I want to talk to other men about this because I've already been there to talk to women, bro. How many marches, speeches, like and there's only women showing up.
March coming up, no?
Yeah. Done the 24th of September, and we're going to continue, but it's like, dogs, like, nah, man, that's not where it's at, because it's not women doing this to women, bro.
Right.
So it's like I'm there. And I'm still there. I see what it is to help them, So it's like that is the conversation because it's and so where I try not to get too bleak is knowing that that's just the truth, bro. So it's like I gotta make a decision when I wake up every day because now I know that that's the truth for me. Like then there's no more. What am I? Before throughout my 20s, it was domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Woo. But in the way that I was showing up and being in women's spaces. But it's like, nah, it needs to be like domestic violence and I'm pulling up in men's spaces. Or then this, whatever work I think I'm doing is just going to be repeating the cycle. This is the thing
that I'm feeling called to say, like now, like, because I agree 100% with what you're saying. I'm trying to show you what would bridge the gap. And I wonder if those men just like fellas, yes, you do get abused too. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that doesn't, that there's no there's no cancelization on this shit. It's like science out here. Like pluses just cancels out. Like no, like you're an abuser and they're an abuser. Like that's it. Like you know what I'm saying. If you got abused, like that doesn't give you the key or whatever. That doesn't make it okay for you to then be abused to be abusing back. You feel me? Like I wonder if that's the problem where it's like, I'm not the monster, like, oh, so like with the Rihanna thing, like you see she forgave him, so she must have decided, like, no, like, but he's still an abuser. And yeah, maybe she egged him on and everything, but come on, now what we're talking about is not, that's why I can't get past some conversations like this where it's not about who's wrong, who's right and who's wrong, who's the victim, who's the perpetrator, like, that still is child's play, bro. Like, once you getting lost in the words and all of that extra shit, it's about the actions. And when I talk about they affect you way more than anything, even look at the conversations you cannot have because you are affected. That's the kind of thing where it's like, now, why are you so angry at just the conversation. It'd be like that now. I see people who aren't even, they don't, like people that I love that don't even make the act of the evil that they talk about or what they maybe felt. But it's almost like, look, now we'll never get to anything because you get so even angry that you even become what you are, angry and afraid to address, or angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you getting upset. And nobody can be there for anybody in this negative act. So whoever gets this little bit of sticky mud in them is like a symbiote. It's like, now we're all venom. Now we all poison. Now we all fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
but I think it's just all struggle.
Less of yourself.
It's all a struggle, man.
And for sure. My thing is but know that you're gonna struggle, and everybody else is struggling. It's not about, like, I don't know. It seems like a little bit of fear. Like, you don't want to admit.
Well, you know why, Rob? Because it's like men don't want to talk about it. Because I mean, how often have you tried to talk to the men around you about any of this stuff before?
That's why I thought to myself, maybe bridging the gap is to let them know, like, I'm not here to look at you like a monster. That's what I think the problem is that you won't look at yourself unlike a monster. So you end up falling into these acts and becoming such that you don't even want to do that.
No,
but the problem is that you won't address what the things you have been doing already, what they are. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not about calling you a monster. It's just about calling you. I'm going to call you out. That monster that keeps saying, it's not just one person. There's been years and histories of people doing monstrous acts. You know what I'm saying? So it clearly shows you that it's bigger than just this flesh. It keeps manifesting itself within us. But they're not little evil baby geniuses out here killing shit. We're growing into this evil. So, like, really think about, look into your past, reflect. You grew into this, and you're becoming it. You won't even address it. I get why. I'm not here to talk about why. I'm here to talk about how. How do we get the fuck out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, the why would be, like, like, well, why do that? As if, like, why me? I've been there asking God why me for shit like that. It was more of like a why not? That's the answer. Why not try this and go this other route? And then answer those questions for yourself. Maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been, look, on another positive note, well, actually, not another positive note, but I'm trying to find a positive. I read some news that it just popped to me. I realized, I don't know where it was, I forgot where, but there's a penitentiary that's trying to bring film festivals into the prisons. You know what I mean? And I only bring that up because I think to myself, like, there's something in there where it's like to tap into the creativity that is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to erase what you have, but it will expose what's ever in there, that we can make it into something that doesn't have to hurt people. And all right, so that's all these films that we see, they come from somebody. That reflections projected onto a screen, somebody's imagination. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the person who does horror films but never was violent at all. Maybe that's because they have so much anger they put it out into their thing. Yeah. I wonder if that's...
Or sometimes they are really thinking that.
But like, my point is to say, man, like, there's ways to get around this, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, men or women who, if you have an issue and you're actually been an abuser, you know what I'm saying? I want to speak specifically to the men, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't hide, bro. Don't hide because you can't hide.
I don't know, Rob. That's why they could.
Well, as a man, I'm telling you not to hide.
They could.
I'm gonna tell you too. Like, if you're an abuser, bro, don't hide. I'm right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Don't hide.
Well, how do you challenge then? Because again, this is where I struggle with, and again, what I go back to, which I think I will say, I'll challenge you and push back, because I think I don't know if you understood where I was coming from, or because it didn't sound like you were talking about something different than I was still getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were discussing, like, talking to men that messed up, and then working, how in many ways, addressing, like, getting better and bridging the gap by, like, talking to them about, like, addressing what's going on, their history, and getting them to see that. And again, I know that is definitely, I think, a key factor.
Sometimes I feel like how they talk to themselves
to do that, but that wasn't where I went with it. So what I was talking about is the discomfort when addressing other men, when topics of like this come up, like sexual assault and rape, or even a story like this one. And so I talked about how it's challenging for me to talk to other men about it. That's what I'm saying. And then the thing went somewhere else, and and in my head I'm like, you see, it's hard to talk to other men about it because we don't talk about this stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine you pulling up earlier to where you pulled up today, and you talking about this because it came to your news feed. You don't, because you'll probably, oh, word, yeah, that shit crazy. no connection to rape culture, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think men really understand
You know what
because
would be really crazy if I looked at them and said,
it's
have you raped
not
anyone?
it's not
That'll really
it's
throw
not
them off their
really
feet.
in our we're not taught that. We're just not. We're not. And then not enough men talk to other men about it in this way. The way we talk about sexual assault is in a jokey way, is in a like downplaying way, is in sometimes horrific ways because clearly like these men were clearly in the chat site talking about openly sexually assaulting a woman. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like I could be really pessimistic about it because this is the stuff I consume. Like I know I consume that. Like how many times I thought back and I still think back of times I laughed at rape jokes and I'd be like, what? Oh, I want to rip my own head out, you know. And then I still obviously a forgiving and like acceptance that like that was 17, 18-year-old me
Yeah.
that still didn't know better, you know. But then again, if I can't even fix it in myself, then it's like, am I really trying to change the world? You know what I mean? Am I trying to change the world? I say I want a better world for us and men, but like, am I? If I still consume these things, if I still let these jokes fly, if I still let this kind of thing be trolly, at least in my circle, like if it's already happening in the world, clearly I can't touch it. But if it comes to me and is at my door, do I still keep like passing it by?
I mean, that's what
You
I think
know,
that's what you have
and
free will.
so no, for
Deciding,
sure to do it, and it's like I said, it's exhausting because
uh,
uh, it's exhausting because you know it becomes, but it's not an island necessarily because I'm not the only man that thinks this way and deals with this stuff as well. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of because again, if you are the more you learn about rape culture and just the way that like even capitalism is really a trigger to a lot of the issues and violence that we see, then it's like okay, you start to take it. You could take these things beyond yourself, and you don't have to feel so guilty. So I do know that most men they do feel ashamed. Why? Because they know they consume bullshit, so they can't listen to this story. Right? Because they know that I be fucking a bitch and I fucking her back, and if they listen to all that shit, so they don't. Oh, I don't want to touch it, you know. Because
I think that's where I was
you know what I'm
heading to,
saying?
or
Because I think
past where you was at to say like I don't think they want to hold
interestingly
on to the
enough,
name.
because we see ourselves in that. And why do we see ourselves in that? You know? Because that's the only reason why you don't want to touch that conversation with a 10-foot pole. Because you see yourself in that. You know?
That's a tricky
And
one.
I think men, no, but we do, Rob. Like, I seen it, you
You
know?
see yourself in what?
In those stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again,
Just because you're a man?
yeah.
I understand.
And so
But
I
that's
think,
but that's
and I think men don't want to touch that. And then
right,
there's
right,
some
right.
men who, there you go again with your feminism. So now you hide behind feminism now, so because you want to not approach the conversation. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm not. This isn't
I'm
even.
following you. I'm
This is not
following
even
you.
about feminism. Like I already explained that. Like this is to me is strictly because again, in my life, if I at least specifically me, most of the violence I've ever experienced have come from men.
Mm-hmm.
Have women been violent to me? Yes, but most of the violence I've experienced has been from men. Most of the times I thought I was gonna die, it was because it was a man. So, and I'm pretty sure if I grab 10 men, most of them will probably say the same thing. So then, what are we talking about here? Why are you getting mad at me if I'm telling you that this shit that you're consuming is giving a pass to domestic violence? If I'm telling you we shouldn't laugh at this story, if I tell you we shouldn't troll about this,
I think
you
you're
know.
onto something there, bro. I think that's gonna have to be
So
for that we're gonna have to want to push
yeah,
that for a
but
more broader episode of his own.
But that's what I'm saying, Rob. Like
Hold on.
it's like if we consume this stuff, like, then how do we grow from it, or can we? Because again, that's the question I heard before. I remember my whole thing was like I don't want to say nigga, 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 right? I stopped saying it for over 10 years. All of a sudden, in the last few years, I've been more loose around it, right? I remember I had a conversation with somebody that was like, you know what I'm saying, like we could take the word and it can be evolved. Like there's more things to struggle about. You know what I mean? Like being afraid to say the word. So it kind of shifted my perspective on it. So I didn't feel so guilty about like having to say the word or not. But it's like, dogs. There's certain things I think it's like again speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for nobody. Clearly, like you said, free will. Every man has a right, and every man I learned in this life is gonna do whatever the fuck they want, you know. And I'm pretty sure I've been right. Listen, I'm pretty sure I've been pretty right about several things. When I'm like, I don't trust this man, especially when it comes to like celebrityism, like You know, like I see the way we defend a lot of men who are celebrities. I've already had my first heartbreak years ago with first favorite rapper.
The Nightmare. Oh
No,
God.
no, Big Pun.
Yeah.
You know, just finding out like about his abuse history and like being real disappointed and like denying it, and then there's actual videos where you know what I'm saying, like it's you get it, I've already had that. So what was I? Diddy don't surprise me. You know, if I hear Jay-Z was super abusive to Beyonce,
Pray not.
whatever, pray not. But I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Dogs, you would not feel like.
I hear you. I hear you.
Well, he rapped it. You
Uh,
know what I'm saying? Like
Drake and
he
that.
carried himself that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he lived a traditional man story that technically does say you have a right to treat your woman that way. So even if you talk to a man like, "Yo, bro, let's go into your history," he's gonna be like, "Yeah, what about my history? It's my right to do this to her. Like God put me on earth,
Yeah, but
and then they're gonna use religion to say I've been put on this earth
I just want to get
to
there
do
though.
this
I don't even know if I'll
to
get
my
there. That's
wife."
why I had said that. I'll
You know what I'm
ask
saying?
them
That's
if they
why
abuse women, if they
you know,
rape
there you go.
anybody.
That's
Let's see if
the
they actually say it.
that's that you know that's the other piece that you might come across when talking to other men. You know, they might bring up like it's my right, and so now how do I argue with somebody, or
I'm not arguing with you.
what is my approach? Because I want to solve this problem.
I hear you.
You know, but you believe it's your right that if your partner talks to you this way, that yeah, it's okay if you smack her around sometimes until she listens. Like, sure, you're not gonna smack her all the time, but like if she does act up and you happen to smack her once, like yeah, that's cool. Like there's people that believe that there's men that believe that that is their right. So again, me talking to them about, but were you abused when you were a child? Like that doesn't matter whether they did or not, because they're gonna believe it's their right to do that. And then again, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come at me with like eons of reasons, and a lot of them will be religious about why that's okay. So, and that being okay then gives permission for that to happen. What like we just looked at, because it's all connected, bro. If as men we believe it's our right to treat women on this earth in this way, you know, then these guys are gonna think, oh well, yeah. Well, I thought it was a consensual game, sex game. Of course, they're gonna think that about a woman because she's not even a human being, bro. At that point, again, men are humans. Women are a separate category. The same way we put dogs are a certain species. The same way cats are another species. The same way a cockroach is a cockroach, and we just, without thinking twice, just some men likely got so ingrained in being an alpha male that women are probably like cockroaches, bro. Like, so what if I like they would never do that to another
The
man.
gay. The gay.
No, but even that is dangerous.
I'm
No,
playing.
but they won't do that to another man
The
because
alpha
like
male to say it's an alpha
because
male gang, you know,
again,
and
in their eyes, they don't see human when they see a woman. They see
that's
a
fucked up, bro.
they
I don't see a
so
woman as a cockroach. That's
and
crazy. There's
so
nothing sexy
you
about
know,
that. That's
and
what
that's what I
it
mean,
is.
Rob. So like, I think our first defense is to say when we hear about men who think this way is that's not me, bro. Like I don't think that way. You know what I'm saying? And then that is what makes it tough for them to then have that conversation, because again, we don't think that way. But the shit we consume and we do excuse a lot of the times is all in the same line. So it's like us saying like, you know, it's like a cop. I'm sorry to police. Sorry to be talking about that. But you know, it's like you see the abuse that's going on, and then you're like, well, I'm the good cop though. So like, hate that that happens, but like I'm the good cop, you know.
It's tricky what you're talking about
So
because it's
you
not
know,
just
so that's where
it takes
again,
a village.
but that's why I battle
You can't go
myself.
Batman. Yeah, you
That's
can't
why
go
I battle
Batman.
myself, because then I'm like, so where do I stand? Because again, I know that that's for me the way I'm seeing it. You know, as men, if we keep making even funny jokes about domestic violence, we're gonna make way for men to believe it's their right to hit women because they're not human. Then we're gonna allow for men to then also believe that they can just sexually assault women at their will because they're not human. And it all starts from us all the way over here, just even laughing at what we think are just minimal jokes. There's plenty of jokes to laugh at, bro. We don't have to laugh at like rape jokes. We don't have to go to like I beat my wife up or I like funny like we don't have to go laugh at violent jokes. You know,
I
there's
agree.
plenty of other ways to joke around. Just that's why it also kills me when people hang on to music from artists that are proven to be like just not good people. Because there's plenty of music out there you could replace them with.
Wait, but hold on. But a few weeks ago, you were singing a different tune about Future, talking about how at least he's who he says he is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I'm
So,
struggling. That's why. Am I not telling you that every freaking year I wake
I'm
up,
struggling.
I
Man.
wake up differently because I
I
know.
told
That's
you,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
struggling. I get it. I get it.
I'm saying I know. That's what I'm saying, Rob. But it's like I guess I could let go of Future. I also have spent years of not listening.
Hey, I don't give shit. I don't listen to Future.
But
I don't
that's.
listen to Drake. I hear when it comes around if it's Bobby, it's
But
Bobby.
then what about Kendrick, right? Because now I struggle with Kendrick.
I haven't
I
listened to
struggle with
his
Kendrick
morale thing, but what happened though? I'll tell you, I still
because it's
listen to
just
the morale thing because he lost
no. It's
weight
just
and he
it's just
started projecting himself as Jesus a lot.
and that's
Like,
dangerous.
no, it just for me was a little bit like
Wearing the
it's
diamond, the
just a
diamond
it
fucking
just
crown.
shows
Like, come
like it
on,
just
man.
and love to him, bro. It's like we all fall short, bro. You're just showing your humanity. What I'm looking at it is like you're showing your humanity in a sense where like it's okay. Like that's I'm not here to judge you, like, but I wouldn't make that move. Like personally, learning it all, that was a basic move to make. But then like look around you, like you know what I'm saying. I don't want to judge people. Like we are kind of basic in a sense.
No.
Like even this Super Bowl move, pretty basic. Like you know,
Contradictory to like a lot of the things that he
amazing because
says,
then
man.
he comes and like it's
Man.
like it writes itself. Like oh wow, like there's no round twos, only one time to win a championship. He says like you trolling, like oh, but wow, like think to yourself, how convenient for the chips to fall the way that they fall for such a line to be like it's like it feels scripted. Like so for me it was like he lost me then where like
Mm-hmm.
you know it's the music could get more realer, but you know what I mean? Like then it's like in duality, I guess that's what it is. You just come off, I guess, a little more fake. You know what I mean? But I don't want to say it because again, me, one thing I'm holding myself to is the experience. Like I gotta be in the room and see it and feel the vibes, and I know. I don't gotta experience you personally like that, but if I'm in the room and I got the vibe, that's all I gotta know. I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta go and do too much research and like that. I don't need to know too much besides the vibes that I get. You know?
Yeah.
So it's over for that.
It's a struggle, man. To go back to like the when you see these things and then having to put another lens on people, because again, in a perfect world, you just want to like enjoy and consume and like
For sure.
you know,
Yes.
but then you get deep into it and then like, is it scripted? You know, like all the and then it's like you could just say I am being fucked with, bro, because there's
Yeah.
historical data that say yeah, you've been fucked with.
Couple years. Couple centuries.
They use Hollywood to
Couple
fuck with us. They
centuries.
use the music, and you know what I'm saying. So, and then for us as men, it's like
They've been gatekeeping for years. Come on, bro. Like,
so it's like we and then me just thinking about like going back to that. Rob is like, it's easier to not make those choices. So I to not make the choice of like, I'm just gonna like put this to the side, and so how to try to like not be so pessimistic. I do think I do try to lean in more. I try not to get more. I'm trying to strike a balance between like I am gonna push and I am gonna address these things and I am not gonna say like this is not cool. I'm gonna not say that laughing at that wasn't cool. I'm gonna say that the trolling took it too far. And I think I am gonna push until like, I can. And then it's like, all right, there's no more all right, that's enough. All right, so I'll back off and then switch the topic if we must. Um I am likely though, I do think this time around though, I think where
see
I
what you mean?
no,
This
I think
year.
as I evolve and I think as I get older, I do see that, you know, I'm gonna have a threshold, where it's like, you know, I'm not even gonna
Boundaries, right?
yeah, I'm gonna stop
Amen.
repeating myself. You're just not gonna see me. Like it's like I'm not gonna repeat myself, you know what I mean? Like this is what I stand for. So around me and my in circles I enter, I would like to create this kind of space where this stuff is not consumed. We're not praising this person that to me is like brings bad energy, that represents bad energy, like and if we could all agree to that, then and have and not just like and obviously that's the more extreme version, but like, you know, really I'm just talking about being in spaces where I believe that um people and men specifically are willing to like hear me and willing to grow in this conversation, because I'd rather we can go back and forth on it versus like we have to cut it off and like leave it for later. You
Right.
know, especially when it comes to stuff that I believe affects our world. Because again, the saddest part to me is that it's like, even with this friend I'm thinking about, it's like I'm probably doing this for you, and you know, I've always said like you could have future kids, and you never know. So I'm doing this for them who are not even born, like because I'm talking about bringing them into a world where like if she's a girl that you have, like she's not dealing with this, and if she's a man, like he's not dealing with this either. You know, like so it's
But
it.
to that
Into
point right
my
there, they must be disconnected. I wonder if
But
they're
a lot of
disconnected
us
because I
are.
changed a lot when I actually had a physical, you know what I'm saying, and then it tapped me into the multiple times that I was physically, would you say assaulted? I don't want to say it too much. Like, you know what I'm saying, like what just when like you know my I was my physical my
Like you
flesh
was
was
too pushy.
violated.
Like you was too
No,
pushy.
I'm
Yeah.
saying when I was
Yeah. Yeah.
violated,
Yeah.
like when it recently happened to me now at a specific age, and it wasn't the culturally
The
accepted one,
right.
it threw me
Right.
for a loop. But I had
Yeah.
no idea
Yeah.
that the other times I wasn't really tripping because it was culturally accepted. I was too young even. You feel me? Like I wasn't thinking like that. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? But
Because as men, we also not only are we violent,
subconsciously I
we're
knew
supposed to
like
accept
yeah,
violence.
subconsciously I knew
Yeah.
like it was
Not a big deal. We minimize it. We're
yeah,
taught
it
to
was
minimize
shorties, it
it.
was ladies, like you know what I'm saying, like and if it was a nigga, like I'm saying, like, and then it's like oh, but then when that person ends up being someone close to you, that it's like it should, it's like that meme. Like I was like, yo, I'm tripping, bro. Like then that moment got me to not even just like at first it took about 8 months to get past what myself and what happened to me, and but well, the most interesting part was that once I got past all my own obstacles at the end of the race, I got to see. It's like you see people coming out of their obstacle, like they just saw you get over it, and now everybody's kind of then talking about, like you know what I'm saying, like it came to light. So it was weird to me where that moment right there kind of reminded me like that's why like you never know
Yeah,
what's going on.
man.
Like this shit is so sticky. Like that woman's making the right move, bro. Like, but she's going through it on a high, such a high
Yeah.
level. It's like,
Uh,
yeah,
well, the reason, yeah,
you
going back to that though, I do
know.
want to say, like, statistically speaking, though, like, it's a lot more dangerous for women to speak up.
No, I'm
Like,
not even,
it's,
bro. You're completely right, Al.
yeah.
But then again,
That's why
again,
I mean,
fear is not your
it's,
friend,
you
right?
know,
Fear is
it's
not
just
here to help you.
hard.
So that truth is not gonna help
And
us.
then
But
again,
it is a truth.
people don't, yeah, no,
I hear
it's,
you. It's a
listen, but,
truth. It's a
I mean,
truth.
but Rob, again, that's what I struggle with, bro,
But that's the
because
point to tell these men.
sometimes the truth is in front of people and they deny it, dogs. Like, people really would deny the truth if you fucking stamp it on their forehead, you know, and that's that. And I struggle when men are
I hear
like
you.
that
I
with
hear you.
facts that we bring to the table, man.
I hear you.
You know, it's like that. Yeah,
It breaks
we.
my heart, but I really do think that they'll have to feel it the way I felt it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I
Well,
didn't know.
that's
I would.
right.
I'm
Well,
not
that's
gonna
what I'm
say
saying.
that
Cause
I had to. I had to
nah,
feel
yeah,
this
cause
way.
I don't even don't think. Cause
I
that's
didn't feel
not.
like
That
I
was just
had
unfair
to
to
go.
you in general, man. Cause that's what I'm saying, bro.
Love,
Like, it's like people should just not even go to that. And
no,
again,
no, for sure.
oh, I think as men, supermarket sweep.
That's a classic.
I think that.
Hmm. No tiene botón.
No, I think it's around this somewhere. It's gotta be. There's no way.
Oh,
Yeah.
classic. What a classic.
Nah.
What a classic.
Um.
That really just cut. That
Yeah.
really just cut into it. Welcome to
Uh.
Supermarket Win.
Shit. Yeah, that was a good one.
Go ahead. Like,
No. Well, the part that I was going to about the hard part for me is that like we have these conversations. We're having this conversation now and again. I think is like because I would want to have these conversations to the point where like again it's preventative. Like I don't want someone like either of us, like what you went through to then have to have been that pivot point for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, um,
But
and because it just
I didn't
it's
need it. I
that
hear you.
because also
It
because statistically speaking, unfortunately, like most of the time people who do get like physically assaulted or sexually assaulted mostly is by somebody they know. You know, so it's like to me again, Rob, it's like it sucks for me to like read about these numbers and then I see my people going through the stuff I'm already reading about all the time, and I'm like, so I see it, and then it's like trying to talk to my way of trying to talk to other men about it is to challenge the stuff that we consume, because again, that's the easiest thing. Like, I know I can't talk to you about like something more serious in front of a group, but like I could be like, you know, I could challenge like you're thinking, oh, so you're just gonna call the WNBA whack because they're women? Why? Because like, right? Like I could challenge you on your warped thinking about WNBA as a man, but
it's not literally me, guys. But
yeah. Sorry. It's like
I like
he's
that.
like he
Oh,
gets
I
it.
love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
What is he saying? You don't know me at all.
No wonder you're looking at me like,
That's
wait,
like,
don't tell the audience that's not
what are
me,
you
bro.
saying? That's not me. That's not me. Got Asia Wilson. I fucked with
Yeah.
you. Chelsea, you already know. Las
Yeah.
Vegas, they got it.
Okay.
I'm doing another one. What's up?
Okay, that's funny. I was like, he's saying
New
not
York
me.
Liberty.
He said, I just want to let you know it's not me.
Nah, fuck with you.
Um, but yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, and I look, I know you've been you've had your moments as well where you've had conversations with other men specifically about these kind of topics, and you know how challenging and it can be because again they hit us with a
Not
lot,
as much
man.
as you with the difficult ones, I will say. In my line
Yeah.
of work, pro bono. All right, my pro bono, that ass is funny too. But that ass, bro, they. It seems to me that it's funny that
But
I would get
sometimes,
the opposite because they come wanting the conversation. They need to get it out, and they know me, and they know that I'm not like. For some reason, they say it's like, I don't. I guess it feels like I'm relatable, but I just didn't take that step, and I could see that, like, because I do have that anger. I do feel like, yeah, bro, she wild out, she's tripping. But again, I don't take it that far where I guess that's why I say where I can silence the voice or you living with it. So you keep talking to yourself and you take that and then you put your hands on her, you choke her, and now you tripping, bro. You wilding. I gotta look at you and be like, I hear you, bro, I hear you, but why you didn't like that's why I had to learn to walk away. And I hear you, but as a man that don't feel good, you're not supposed to walk away, right? Stick it out, be with your family. Because I've seen women, when you walk away and you try to do that, now you a bitch. Now you fucked up, right? You gonna walk away and just leave us like that? And now where are you at odds? Now you don't know when you go and default into what becomes a man and you just hit something. But you hit her, you blacked out. A lot of men don't even know they blacked out. I see that they come to me and talk to me, they blacked out. And it's like, wow, like that's crazy. Like so for me they come and it's like it's interesting that it becomes no battle. It becomes a battle where it gets to get it to stop. You feel me? Like they seem to understand where they were wrong when they come and talk to me about it, but they just don't know how to stop it and still be in that same circumstance. They want to be with that person. They don't know how to get out of it. You feel me? And shit, I relate to that. Like, yeah, I mean, I would think to myself, I would have loved to, like, you know what I'm saying? You, even if you got out, why can't it still be love and cordial?
yeah.
I think that's for you to go and do your research on abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, once that shit happens, that's a sticky situation, and you cannot stay in the same circumstance. It's like, even statistically, you cannot do that. You have to change the environment. Something has to change. And guess what? You could keep your love alive for a person as you change the environment.
Yeah.
You don't have to hate the person. You don't have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to
Well,
work out with someone, it just does, but you don't stay in the same thing and bang your head against the wall. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all grew up doing that.
that's also easier said than done.
Yeah, of course.
When we're also
But
taught
that's
it,
that's why I'm saying to answer to your prerogative. Like, if that's what, that's your answer, why you saying that? Okay, well, guess what? You still have to change that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can still love them, but that's where, again, men are fucked up bullshit too, because you're going to really hold it down with this one woman, you got to make it work. Oh, that means that when you're separated and everything, you can't go fucking other bitches. So, right now, you see, now you excuse me for saying it, but I'm going to talk like how y'all talk. Like, now you over there having sex with other women. See? Now you're not disciplined, bro. You're not being faithful to your partner. Now you lying. Oh, but we on a break. But if she was going having sex with other men because you're on a break, now she cheating on you, it's not good, right? I don't feel right. And then again, double standards, like,
Well,
Yeah,
that's why.
because
That's
the trickle effect of
yeah.
everything that's in the man box.
Well, that's going back to again the stuff that we choose to accept about our being, our identity as men, and that we deny. And I say we because
We men.
we as
We've
men,
had
you
to
know what I
fight it
mean?
ourselves. I
Yeah,
understand why.
and I still think it's still a fight, because I don't think I have all the answers, as far as like how my socialization as a man continues to affect me and my thinking, even when I have thoughts of being violent, knowing that like as a man, that's just something I've been right. Like my toys, early on it was fighting. It was I didn't. It
Always.
wasn't like the car, get in the car, let's cook. It was like what I'm saying. Like
Ah, dang, you're
it
actually
was.
right.
It was always
That's
like
crazy.
violence and like very much like hitting, hitting, hitting.
Crazy.
My
Only time
man.
my action figures teamed up was to jump another group of other action figures. It's
And
true.
it was fun. What I'm saying, the wrestling toys, like it was fun. It was definitely was
That's
fun,
so
but.
funny. There was no village that wasn't pillaged and with my toys. That's fucking.
Listen,
That's I didn't think
and
about that.
then again, I know that that's not the
Wow.
story for all men who grew up. There are some young men who didn't play with their toys like that. So that's why I speak for myself, knowing that yeah, when I was younger, that I did consume stuff and media and messages around me that I internalized, if you will,
Mm.
about like this is my role and this is just what we do, but I'm just a good guy, in all this. But yeah, bro, but you do like violence, you know what I'm saying? Your imagery, the games, you like watching martial arts movies, like you know what I'm saying, like
Well, because
action
those are
movies.
real raw emotions, y'all.
Actually,
Is that
yeah,
am
no,
I
no, no.
taking the
So
action?
right,
Nah, like
so
you're
it's like
bugging. Like,
accepting the stuff that speaks to me because it spoke
no.
to me, right? Which it speaks to anybody. Um, but that's why I go back to like just I do, because then I'm like, but did we go too far? And yes, the answer is we did go too far in the way we socialize, I think, and continue to socialize men and young men. I mean, I see it now again, like recently having experience with getting to work with some teenagers and seeing in the past like how they like the young men specifically. There are some who've moved on, but
Mm.
there's a large majority, bro, who still subscribe to that idea, man, deeply. You know, deeply. I mean, I'm again. You see me. I've been able to be in different spaces. I've been able to be as a soccer coach. And
Mm-hmm.
sort of. So it's like I see how yes, thankfully there's pockets of young men that I'm like, yeah, it looks like they grew out of that. They understand you don't have to be this way. You don't have to always be violent. And there's a majority, man, that like you, they still, it's in a lot of them very young. And then again, what I see happens is that as adult men, you naturally start to live life, and you see that a lot of the shit you were taught was bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But by then, though, if you weren't careful, you've internalized all those nasty ideas about our relationship to women
I've
specifically.
learned that it's trauma.
And then no, trauma,
Like people
trauma.
have
That's what
mental
I'm saying.
health issues that
And
we are
men,
not
and
dealing
then
with,
men have
and they're triggering
again.
me,
Yeah, well,
and they're triggering
the trauma
everyone.
is what makes it harder, right? Because trauma, then again, it makes us act a certain way with
Yeah.
So I definitely do think that trauma makes it harder. But again, it goes back to like just even basically the basic I think, but complex process of awareness and awakening, which
Mm.
comes with um the
Reflection
reflection. It comes with
and
education
following. Yeah,
and
yeah,
learning,
yeah.
and then which also comes with being in community with different communities.
Being open to
Because
that.
again, there's a lot of people that are quick to have a trans joke, make a transphobic joke or hate trans people, but they never try to break bread with trans folks.
Oh, for
So
sure.
it's like, how do you judge of people you never broke bread with?
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me you broke bread with these people and then like you've had experiences and they were they were bad, then I would understand you more. At least that's why you're like, yeah, I just can't stand them. Okay,
You know what's
but
gonna be
like the
curious to me
people
on that
you
point?
never broke bread with anybody, and like you're trying to judge people over
Yeah.
what, over what?
I,
And so I
I'm
think
curious about
men
those people.
specifically, also if you notice, don't get to build meaningful relationships with straight heterosexual men. Do not get to build really meaningful relationships with women all oftentimes. I mean, again,
Without it being romantic.
right. So I mean, again,
Key
I'm
point.
grateful,
Right.
but again,
Yeah.
I'm in a small minority because of the my career and the places that I've been to have women who I can call friends and confide in and trust, but and then who could talk to me about conversations so that I learn more and grow more.
Yeah.
But again, we know Like
No,
we
I'll
could
call myself out. I'm guilty of that.
let's
I feel I
count
romanticize women so much
let's
that
count in our hands. You know
many
how
should have
many
been
men.
friends. And once you cross that threshold, yeah,
It's hard to.
it can be, yeah, and it sucks because it would be beneficial for more men. Even those women that went romantically, like they know you on a different level. Like it would be nice to have them to be able to communicate with. Um, you know, that's also something that I think is just culturally accepted that, once you cross that threshold, we're not supposed to be friends. And then they make it more about the future, like, nah, you disrespecting my future shorty or my future man, like, and it's like, no, but we're friends, right? That's what we're saying, like, um,
And so that
yeah,
we are missing out. You know, all I see
on
it
those big
as on
conversations,
those
yeah.
big conversations, and that's what I'm saying. And even me and my small minority, I probably could have more.
But you're right,
Yeah,
because your
women
job
friends.
actually provided that, like that profession
Yeah, I mean,
happens
I
a lot.
work with a lot of women, so it was
Yeah,
easier to make friends that are women
yeah.
because I was around them. And I mean, but that's not to say because there's men in my field who don't make any friends with women because it's the same thing. Their idea is, if anything, they look at it as a gold mine because I'm around so many women. So like,
Yeah, that's creep
take your
shit.
pick, type of shit. So they still keep majority male friends,
It's weird.
but
I've seen men also make it about the woman. They're what, like, like, which is so
give me
weird
some water.
because like you'll be in that situation and you'll be like, nah, my wife will kill me if she found out. She'll be like, yeah, I know why you want to stay working late, and it's like that. That doesn't have to be that's only the narrative because that's dead. That's the probably the like dumbass shit you actually do. Bird brain. Like she just knows you that you're a cheater and you
That's
would
what I'm
take
saying,
opportunities.
man.
So it's like interesting that what I
And
love. That's what I said, bro. One of the fruits of the spirit, self control.
yeah.
Control yourself. That's why I
Well,
tell you I'm going for that celibacy shit. Like, and and I find it weird that it's like becomes like popularized at the weird times. Like,
no, I think it's the algorithm. It's your phone
you
listening to
think so?
you.
Dead
Oh,
ass, bro.
absolutely, it's your phone
But
listening
I'm
to you.
saying like for
I
one,
hate
it's
that.
50 Cent coming out and telling everybody. I was like, yeah, but you was 50 Cent for quite some time. Like, yeah, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We different men. You got a bunch of different ladies under your belt. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you out
he's
here,
tired.
you tired of it. I'm just like for me, it's again peeping this and wanting discipline on this. Like I know my struggles. Like I see the over sexualization even within myself. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but I do also can feel that it's not okay. I can feel that it's not normal. That it's like what I'm
Well,
saying.
because I
Like
think you've also had, thankfully, because is it fair to say
I've
you
had what?
no meaningful because you've been around women in a meaning in a much I don't want to say meaningful because I don't want to minimize like the men who have some relationships with women that are not just romantic. But like I'm thinking about your experience with the arts when you were performing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
For
So
sure.
yeah,
I love that. Natalia, Mabel,
yeah.
Jasmine, Shatia, Korea. Yeah,
Yeah.
love. Um, right.
And to
So I
me,
can
the way
have
I
that.
look at it from, because again, I'm learning like, oh shit, this is what that happens with men. I'm like, okay, so what am I doing? Then I look around at my guys. I'm like, how their relations with women. So I see you. I'm like, okay, well, you, okay, you,
Love, love.
you know, say you good. They'll say
But I'm all about
you.
calling ourselves out.
I
So
was
let
like,
me
you don't
call
have a
myself out.
lot. No, no.
Right.
That's how I was like, I'm
Correct.
glad to hear that actually, by the
Yeah.
way, though, that you see it that way because I'm like, there's always room for growth. But for me,
Always,
I'm like, I thought you were
always.
already.
Oh no,
You're
no,
not.
yeah.
I wouldn't put you in that bucket because I'm like I've seen you have these relationships with women.
Yeah,
You know what I
love.
mean? And
The
work with them and like in a different space and
uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that doesn't have to be the case. Like yeah, for sure. The thing that I want to get better at for me was like because of actually everything that we've talked about, it is hard. I actually relate to that.
Mm,
Well, that's why I asked you, how do you see yourself in these stories?
yeah.
Because I don't see myself ever in that story, but the fear of being confused or perceived, like in the shadow of
Mm.
this story, because our stature is man, that bothers me. So in
Oh
that
yeah, because I
same
know you
vein,
had that experience where women look at you like a threat, even
you
though
know what I'm
you didn't even
saying?
know
That
you.
bothers me,
They
bro.
don't
Where
even
it's like
know
I'm just
you.
a
But just
human trying to
because you look
figure it
like
out.
you,
But even in my
you're a
actions,
threat.
where I say like if a woman presents herself to me and I had like if I wasn't initially attracted to her, why am I opening that up? I mean, I had to honor that. You know what I mean? And then the woman that I actually want, I be like gushing over them because it's like I don't and it's like almost like women don't even want that. Like, so I learned to have balance and just security in myself. That it's not really just to feel my scales and when they tip. And why is it so much easier when a woman wants me to accept that? Because it feels very uncomfortable to want a woman in this climate. You feel me? If I want a woman and she don't want me, you know what I'm saying? In this climate, the rejection just feels a little bit weirder. Like they'll there was a video I didn't get to show you. This man was trying, like, he went, like, you know, they record themselves do something weird. Obviously, he says, I recorded myself crossing a woman's boundary, ended up getting her number. She was laying down on the, and it's funny, he knew he was crossing her boundary too. He was on the actual title. He recording that she's laying on the beach. Obviously, we don't know how much is true, but I believed it. He laid down on her, like pretty much her ass, and she was like, "Whoa, excuse me." And he was like, "Hey, I'm sorry." And she was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Try to raise it up, and she
That
was
had
like,
to be a skit.
"What are you doing?" And
I
like,
thought he was gonna say he laid next to her. He laid on her ass.
He like tried to lay his head, but she got up so quickly that he didn't do anything because he had hair, so I felt like she could feel his hair, and she got up quick. That's how I kind of believed it. He's talking, she's kind of saying like, "What are you doing?" Like, "Goodbye," and she was like, "But I'm not for it. It's just like you look comfortable, so I thought I would lay down next to you and everything." She was like, "That's your play." Bad, go, like, you know what I'm saying? So she kept dating him, and it was interesting.
I don't know, Rob.
My point only to get to that is to say, look, no, my point.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I wouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that was clearly a young kid who I feel like I've already maybe aged almost twice your shit to experience not only my own feelings of like, oh, that would be nice, but also understand women and where they're coming from and why that's not nice. You feel me?
Well, anybody, bro.
Anybody,
nigga,
imagine
us chilling in the beach.
Stranger. I don't know you, like.
Well, that's what's, bro. Just you was laying on the beach, somebody sit next to you, anybody, bro.
I wouldn't do that, but imagine, like you said, if you could live this world freely, like we would with our toys, and it just be not have to wear care of the world, and if that wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like we weren't a threat. Like, oh, I really like that person, I would want to contact that person.
Yeah, but that's still different than laying down. Cause don't sneak up on me, like,
claro.
cause like you could lay next to me, but if you sneak up on me, I'ma react.
Well, I'm trying to get.
So if you're a stranger, it's like,
but anyway,
you know,
for me, what I'm getting at is any approach. I don't feel comfortable, like, and I'm getting there now. Where like I just call myself out. Where like where I was trying to say, where I do have friends, like yes, regular women friends. I'm at a better place now, where I think like back then, like. Any of those maybe friends had rizzed me up, made me, you know what I'm saying? A woman wanted me, I would have accepted it. Because, you know what I'm saying? It feels good to be wanted.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, like, if you didn't want them from the beginning, they didn't catch your eye, you honor that too, bro. It's not just whoever wants you, you know what I'm saying? Any opportunity that comes, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that I learned.
Yeah. Well, not just that, Rob. I think beyond us, I think just pushing for the fact that, like, not seeing women as even a romantic thing in the first place. You know what I'm saying? That, like, that's
again, by saying
not
that
even,
they romanticize
you know,
it themselves and try to do it. It mattered for me to have that empowerment of myself. That no, thank you. I actually, right? Men don't have to accept the advance of any woman, right? It's not right as a man, right?
Well, because then some. Well, because here's the thing that happens. Well, because here's another thing that I've seen happen is that exchange happens, and then men is like, now you don't think you can build anything beyond that. They made an advance, you told them no, and then it's like, okay, you can't be anything else.
Oh, we could be friends. No, of course.
You know, and I think that, because again, I think oftentimes as men, it's like it has to be either or.
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
both. Yeah.
So I think our growth is breaking out of that shell, because again, I think it goes back to, it leads to a lot of this stuff. For men to even take this serious, they have to, I think, and we have to do a better job of actually building meaningful relationships with women outside of our family, because it's very selfish, you know. And even then, unfortunately, not many women with sisters have good relationships with their sisters like I think we do. You know, that we can call, they call us, we were out, you know what I'm saying? Again, when I look around at the men that I know you good, but then I see other. You know, I was just talking to my cousin yesterday, and he's like, you know, don't really talk to his sister like that, you know. Like, his older sister, and they're not even that far apart in age, you know. And so he's missing, what is he missing out on? That he don't get to really, like, talk to his sister.
Why is that even happening?
You know?
What's the disconnect?
Yeah.
Two spirits out here living.
So,
what is the gender,
I think and again, it's I do
talk to your male cousins more. Do you, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you have a brother? It'd be different if I had a brother.
Does have a real brother. He does have a brother, and they do talk. Well, they do live together. So
Okay.
Living together does help, but I do
Yeah,
think
true.
they hang out,
I would ask myself those kind of questions.
because I think, and it also comes down to effort, bro,
Oh, for
because
sure.
I think we have to want to do that, and again, I see men who have sisters and they're not that close. They're close, like sure they go to family parties, but they're not having like deep conversations like the way I know you've had with your sister and I've had with mine. And I do think that that would be a gift to men, and it's funny because I don't think men would realize how much of a gift that is, but it
Mm-hmm.
is to their perspective, to how they'll view the world,
Mm-hmm.
because that's why even the to try to get men to understand, to even be like, yo, what if it's your sister? Again, some men have sisters and they're not even close to their sisters, so there's like, yeah, I'll protect my sister, but like they don't really know because they don't know their sister's story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Right, they don't know if they already weren't around because they weren't
you
seen
know,
as such. They didn't
so it,
present that.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, man, and I think that like so to kind of. I was looking at the time. I was like, to kind of bring this around because we actually been on
No,
for
no, I
two
feel like no,
hours.
I
It's
feel like
great.
it's good, good, love.
Woo! Two
But
hours.
I feel like it was coming to a
To
full
to a
circle.
full circle. And I mean, I'm probably gonna go back to this a couple times, not to laugh, but I think we've said it before. We're gonna. It's about revisiting these topics. Things come up again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, try to shift towards more, I guess, positive, if you will. That's why I think looking forward to the music stuff. I think I'm gonna try to. I've been thinking about the tape and incorporating some of the stuff into
Gang.
it. Um, yeah, like looking for ways to find messages,
Well,
um,
just
to
the
to
public,
to
to the
kind of
public, real
to
quick,
kind of
bro.
challenge things.
If y'all
Just
want something positive, be positive too. Because we're not up here just telling stories of like the negative shit that we're finding. I'm not literally searching. This is all coming to us. And we're
yeah,
men who actually put our work in to be good. And I want good feedback. But guess what? The evils out here are still working. And the algorithm is giving me this. So I can go ahead and talk to y'all. If you want positivity, don't run and just be that person who's like, nah, I'm not sure. They too negative. This shit is the actual stuff that it's supposed to be.
mm,
I'm not out here going and talking to people. Nah, I know those kind of people. Hey, did you hear about the person who got burned? We're not doing that.
mm,
We're not doing that. So you want positivity? I actually do say, yes, I agree with you. Be positive, though. You be the positivity. Why don't you come up in our chat and actually talk to us and tell us the positive shit you did with your day and where you made a difference? You feel me? Like, look at it like that instead of looking around and being like, oh, they talk too negative or this and that. Because for us, I say in this, just speaking for
mm,
us on this channel, we're coming to bring light on things that obviously you all see and things you don't see with our personal
mm,
lives. And it would be nice if you do the same. So it could be a growing kind of community, not just
yeah,
us two. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, and to invite hopefully other men to be able to share their stuff and see. Hopefully they can see that it's possible to have these
Yeah, that we also
conversations.
do
Yeah.
good. Of
That
course,
that
we
we
do
could
good.
that no, even basic, Rob.
It
That
ain't
not
shit.
because it's not about
And
doing
let's
good
not
or
get
not.
hype out here.
It's just to me, it's not even beyond good or not. It's just that we could have these conversations,
Right.
and it's possible for two people, humans that look like us and that we call men, heterosexual men,
Right.
that can talk about these kind of topics that are heavy about sexual assault, and also the fact that men are involved in a lot of these behaviors and things that we see, and that we want to challenge that because we want to change that because overall we want a different world. So again, let the women talk to the women about what they're doing wrong. You know what I
Right.
mean? Being violent.
That's right.
So you know we have stuff that we need to continue to address here amongst ourselves, and again,
That's
just
right.
get on the same page at the same time because I will say the positive note I will end on is that in my experience, though, even though I know it's exhausting, when it has come down to it, I do think men agree, and thankfully, I know that's not the experience for everybody. I know people who have told me that the men in their lives, when it came to it, men
And
took the wrong,
denial.
in denial or took the side of
What you
evil,
said that they had to do
took
it
the
and they
side
had
of
the right.
evil, took the side of violence, and then so. But for me, when I've seen men, especially the men around me, like they will troll, they will minimize like DV, but then it's like when it came down to like really doing something to save a life, and it's a woman's life or doing something to save a woman's life, they've been there. So there's been balance, you know. Um,
Up to that.
there's been balance, and so I just I do the hope and the fight continues to be to try to like continue to tip the scale a bit, though, so that I think there's more education, more awareness, really. So that I think the men can continue, we can continue being, I think, who we're meant to be, which is, first and foremost, like, if we are protectors of this earth. I think as humans, that is our job, to be protectors of this earth, all of us. So, like, let's really get back to that. But with all this violence and that we're like engaging in, that we're involved in, we're not protectors at all. We're not being protectors of the earth. We're not, And so, yeah, I want to be able to bridge that gap. And I think it starts. You throw a stone, it skips. It makes a ripple effect. So
For sure.
I'm looking for that. Keep throwing stones, man. waiting for it to make that big ripple effect. Because I do believe we're something's gonna have to give eventually,
Yo,
bro.
please, fellas, take this shit mad seriously.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
so-
mean? Like, it's you could joke about
And we're gonna
everything else
joke,
you want.
yeah.
Bro,
And we're gonna have a
I
good
love-
time.
I
We're
love
gonna
that.
hop on RB. We're gonna
I
hop on
love doing
RBI's TikTok
Man,
if
bro,
he's still going on,
no,
actually.
it might be. But yo, take this shit seriously. Look, you know why so easily, y'all? Like, this very well could make our gender as men be so fucking. It could get so nasty and sticky that it'll get to you, bro. It'll get to you, and God forbid, I pray it doesn't. I pray protection over y'all, man.
Mhm.
Like all of y'all who are in denial and not trying to have these conversations, I pray that the women and the young people, just young people growing up around you, are safe, because you won't have the conversation of what actually wants to bring them harm. You feel me? Like, just because you're not affected and you feel it's too serious, like, squash that, y'all, because it's really happening out here. It's really happening out here. And then people might not even be telling you, because you just about that energy. You're not even trying to show up. You're trying to act like it's not here, or we shouldn't talk about it. Like, I urge you to please, like
Yeah.
open your ears, man. When these conversations even happen, close your mouth and open your ears. If exactly what you want to do when you open your mouth is get them to stop, just open your ears. How about you just stop and you open your ears and just listen? Because even that may be, if that's your role, maybe that's fine. Play your role, but listen. Maybe you don't do nothing. Maybe it benefits us all for you not to do anything, if that's true to your spirit.
Yeah.
But then in that moment, just listen. Don't go telling everybody else like us that we wilding or we talking about shit that we shouldn't talk about, or blah 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 blah. Like, save your breath and save all of our time.
That's right. Listen, man. With that, I'll put a clap on, man.
Thank you, Mr. Hegan.
Oh man. All right, with that, so before we go, any self-care for the week? Anything you're looking forward to in your self-care?
Man, I've been on it, bro. I've been gang. I've been on it. I can't wait to show you my app. What I want to self-care, I would love. I miss reading. I haven't read in a while.
Amen to that.
It'd be nice to go walk and read.
Okay.
Like, go to walk, sit in the park and read.
You got me, man. I reading is definitely been on my mind, so I think I want to get back. So I did start the book, so I'll probably finish it or try to get to it this week. Yeah, man. This is actually more but thank you.
Love.
I gotta take it out, so that's you just reminded me.
And that's how I be, bro. That's why I got my.
Because if I don't take it out,
because
if I don't take it out, I'm not gonna see it. I'll miss it. But
Yeah.
reading. That's what's up, man. Good.
I've been on my heavy steps, man. So
Nice.
physical, you already know the conversations we were having before here. I think I'm still even dealing with, like, if it's mental shit and spiritually, I'm doing the right choices. So love to that.
Amen. Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to cycle tomorrow, so I'll see how that goes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take my bike out.
Where?
I'm gonna try to just bike to my job.
Okay. If you
Okay.
want to be with a group, like,
No. Oh wait, but this is something
I know
separate. But
somebody.
yeah,
I know
we'll
people
talk.
that go
Yeah,
cycling, like,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do
I
that
think it's on. They do it on. Is it maybe Tuesdays or which is funny because tomorrow, but
tomorrow. Is it?
or Saturdays maybe.
All right, well, let's keep chopping it up. Let me wrap up here,
Love, y'all.
man.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all
you,
for
everyone, for
tuning
listening.
in.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
Lay, again.
Love.
Congratulations to the MSW. LCSW, sorry. I messed it up. So next Monday, y'all, well, meet us at DJ RBI Live. I'll put the, we'll probably be there now for a couple minutes to the end of the day.
On Friday, we might do a pickup if it all works out.
Mm-hmm.